What's up? What's up? What's up, party people in the house? It's your man, point guard Stephen Bardo, coming back to you, fresh off of my trip to Salvador de Bahia, Brazil. Guys, had a great trip. So on today's show, what we're going to get into, I'm going to give my thoughts about Salvador. We'll talk about some of the things that are going on back home. And I'll talk to you a little bit about a couple of guys that were in our group, that are in our group here, and Mexico has left. They've gone different places and they've reported back, and it's really kicked up a good conversation on our group chats. And I also ran into one of the brothers that's here. We had a great conversation this morning, and I'll share some of that with you as well, because he and I think very similarly about the issues concerning Black Americans back in the United States. Welcome to Next Chapter Forward. If this is your first time, Next Chapter Forward is a group of Black men over 50 looking to relocate out of the United States. Okay. I live in Mexico, and we're trying to grow this network of Black people, because it's not just Black men. That's my target market, but I talk to Black people. And so we are expanding this community to different parts of the world so that Black men over 50, because we've got some in the United States, we've got some in Canada, we've got some in Great Britain, that want to leave these areas and relocate to a place that the living is more affordable, how we're treated is much better, and the safety aspect, guys, is so critical. Let me start off by commenting on the safety aspect before I get into the Salvador Brazil situation. So here's the thing, guys. If you're trying to heal, there's one thing that you have to have in order to heal. And if you don't have it, you can't heal properly. That's safety. If you don't feel safe, guys, you cannot heal. I wish there was a different way, because there's certainly we as Black men, I believe, those of us that are conscious, those of us that are really aware of what's going on. Believe it or not, there's a lot of Black people, a lot of brothers over 50 that are not conscious of what's going on in the United States. They see what's happening, but I'm not sure that they make the connection of why these things are happening. So safety, guys, you have to get to a place of safety in order to heal. Okay. Mexico has provided me that, but there are a plethora of other places where we as Black men feel very safe, feel respected, feel welcomed. And that's important. And I know it sounds elementary and basic, but in my opinion, the United States does a really good job of taking those basic human, I don't know if I'll call them human rights, but basic things that the BS narratives that they push in the United States, you tend to believe them after a while because you hear them so often and so much. But those things aren't a given for us in the United States. They're not a given around in certain places around the world, but they are present in various countries and locations that we at Next Chapter 4 can help you find. Okay. So guys, let me share something with you about Salvador Bahia, Brazil. Salvador is 80% Black. This is a country in the northeastern corridor of Brazil. And so right now it's an hour ahead of Eastern Standard Time. That's how far east that location is. And guys, I've been to a few places in my life. Ghana for the first time, Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, and now Salvador Bahia, Brazil. It was weird. I was going down because I wanted to check it out. I've been thinking about Salvador for decades. Some of you know one of my first mentors, Dr. Cuddy Bacon, self-made millionaire in the field of education. he had a place down there about 20, 25 years ago. He talked about having a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment that overlooked the Atlantic Ocean. He had a maid, a cook, and a driver. And he was getting all this done for $750 a month. His place, the cook, the chef, the maid, the cleaning service, and the driver, 20, 25 years ago, he was getting that for $750 a month. So when I went over there and I started looking at the cost of living, Playa del Carmen, where I am, is one of the more expensive places in Latin America, but it's 40% cheaper than Chicago. Salvador is 40% cheaper than Playa del Carmen. That's how affordable it is to live in that region. Now, if you go to Sao Paulo and Rio, they pronounce it Rio de Janeiro. If you go to Rio de Janeiro or Sao Paulo, it's going to be a little bit more expensive, obviously, because they're more popular cities, they're bigger cities. But Salvador itself is almost 4 million people. It's bigger than Chicago in terms of population. And so Salvador, guys, when I touched down, and I got there really late, and so I didn't really get a chance to see the city. But when I woke up the next day and I started walking around, it felt very familiar. And these are places that I'm going to start to highlight and push to other Black men to consider. Okay. There were 3 native people to that region. Well, 4 actually. The sister at the airport when I was leaving, she said, "You look like my brother-in-law." And I said, is he from this region? Is he from Bahia, which is the state that Salvador is in? And she said, yes. She said, "You look like you're Bahian." She was the 4th person to tell me that. So maybe I was treated a certain way because people thought I was local. I don't know. But I really enjoyed it. And I did my own historical tour and private cooking class. Guys, you have got to do that. I don't care wherever you go. Do a cooking class, because what happens is, I didn't realize this, but it makes total sense. When you're in a cooking class and you're coming from a different part of the world, let's say, and you're visiting Vietnam or Malaysia or South Africa or the Dominican Republic, what happens is when people are discussing the food, they often talk about the history. Guys, the stuff that the brother Wilson Bandoa, he was my translator. Wilson is an ancient history professor in Brazil. This brother was so sharp. He was sharing with me that paella and some of the other dishes in Europe were used as a weapon, right? So there would be places in Europe where they were making people, you were either going to convert to Catholicism or Christianity, or you were going to die. So they're trying to get these Jews and these Muslims to convert. And so what would happen is they would cook these big meals for the people to come out to, right? And they would put pork, they would put different things that weren't halal, that Muslims and Jews want. If they eat a certain meat, I believe it has to be halal, a certain way they prepared, or I'm not well versed in that regard, but they would make these dishes and watch the people and see if they converted. And so the Muslims and Jews would come out and they would eat this food, but then when they would go back home, they'd have their a special room or a special place where they had their own altar to their particular religion, because they had to hide it. And so whenever you take a cooking class, guys, you're going to get a history, not only of the food, but of the region, of the area. And the cooking class that Wilson was, I was with 3 sisters, Miss Antonia. She reminded me of my great grandmother. Beautiful woman, lively, full of energy. And she had 2 other sisters with her, helping prepare and cook and all this stuff. And Wilson was breaking all this history down. Guys, I'm telling you, do a cooking class. You won't regret it, because the good thing is you'll help prepare the food and you get to eat it afterwards. And then you get to take some with you. like I did. Okay. So the cooking class is amazing. I went to La Cerda elevator. This is one of the most iconic places in Salvador. It's a huge elevator that goes from the lower city where they kept the slaves and the commerce area on the lower city. This elevator would take you to the upper city where the Portuguese so-called elite, I hate that word, the so-called the slave let's figure out a name for them. The Portuguese terrorists, that's what it was. The Portuguese terrorists would live on the high ground, the high city. And in the low city, they would keep African slaves, African people down in that area, in the commerce area, because it would flood often, right? I went to a market named Mercado. What was it? It basically translates to Modelo Market. It's a big market. And in the basement of this market, they would chain Africans who had just come in from Africa, who were slaves. Salvador is the first capital of Brazil, guys. Salvador brought in 10 times more Africans. They trafficked 10 times more Africans in that city than all the Africans that they supposedly transported to the United States. That's why Brazil has such a large black population. Brazil's black population, I believe, is 90 million people, maybe 100 million. It's at least twice the size of the amount of African Americans. So this area has a ton of African influence. Okay. And in the basement of this place, guys, they would chain these African slaves. And when it would rain, it would flood. These people would drown. So the inhumane nature of which African people have been treated all over the world was yet on display when I did this tour. And I'm going to put together this video of both of those combined because it's a lot of material, but I think it's very important that you all see it because you'll start to understand. I learned so much more about the racism in the United States when I traveled in Latin America, because the Western Hemisphere was developed by slavery, the Western Hemisphere as we know it, as we currently know it. The systems that are in place were built through white supremacy, through the slave trade. Okay. And so when you go to these different countries and you get these bits of information and history, then you compare them to what you know or what you've learned about that history in the United States. And it gives you even more of, it gives you an ecosystem to compare your situation with their situation. And guys, one thing that Wilson told me that was fantastic. Wilson said, Salvador is the first capital of Brazil. That city was formed in the late 1400s. They started bringing in African slaves in 1523, I think. So this place is old, guys. It's got a lot of history to it, right? First capital of Brazil. They've never had a black mayor. They've never had a black person as a news reporter on the television. Never. You see the graphic. Salvador is 80% black Afro heritage. Sounds a lot like South Africa apartheid, doesn't it? And when you go there and you look at the economic structure, see this, I'm a sociologist and I'm a pattern recognition expert. So I look at things from a sociology standpoint, from an economic status. And so when you look at, I said this before, you go to Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, it's the exact same. You go to Cartagena, Colombia, it's the exact same. I saw the same thing in Medellin, Colombia, right? I saw the same thing in Panama City, Panama. I went to a coastal kind of a vacation spot in Costa Rica. named Jaco. I didn't spend a lot of time in the capital of Costa Rica, but I'm told it's the same thing. Blacks are on the lower level of the economic status. Then the lighter you go, the more economic status those people tend to have in these areas. Even though the overwhelming majority is Afro or Black heritage. So it's the same around the world, guys. Okay. And the people are people are beautiful. That's my first time going to Brazil. I'd been to Venezuela, and I swore up and down Venezuela had the prettiest women in the world, even better than Colombia, because I played briefly in Venezuela back in the mid 90s. This is before a lot of the unrest was taking place. The mixture of women in South Africa is unparalleled. They got the prettiest women in the world. They ain't even close. I've been all over the world, guy. I haven't been to Australia, but I don't think there's much diversity in Australia. I've been almost everywhere else. South America has it, bro. So what Brazil did, Brazil intentionally recruited Europeans, just like Argentina did. There's a term for it, whitening the country. So Brazil, I don't know as aggressively as Argentina did, but Brazil recruited European immigrants to come in and lighten the country. And so Brazil has these mixtures, oh man, blonde hair, blue-eyed, skin as dark as mine, light skin, thick, Tracy thick, y'all. Light skin, thick, nappy hair, African feature. Oh man, bro. The people in that region are beautiful. Okay. And they have a spirit about them. People look at you and smile and actually mean it. It's not that fake stuff that we experience in the United States. Y'all know when y'all walk past a white woman and she gives you that, and then immediately she's frowning afterwards. It's not, they don't body shame. For what I saw, they don't really body shame in that region. There were women who were plus size women that had more swag than models down there. I'm telling you. You talking about a place with some swag? Shoot. Grown men walking around in Speedos, they don't give two nothings about what nobody thinks. And that is the prevailing attitude. And guys, it's so cool to be in, because you get past that BS layer that you have to deal with in the States. It really doesn't exist. So you don't even waste energy on that aspect. All your energy goes to the enjoyment of the people, the flavor, and the spirit around you. It's very, very unique. I was in Black areas in Cartagena. Cartagena, to me, is more the get over. I'm trying to beat you out. I'm trying to get over on you. I didn't like that about Cartagena. But even Cartagena, Colombia, it's got a little bit of it, but Brazil's got it in spades, y'all. The people are beautiful. The spirit is beautiful. People are cool. I'm sitting up, man. I met a woman from Chile, and I met her at a local bar to watch the football game of, it was Brazil versus, who was their first game that they tied with? Oh, Morocco. And I kept telling the people, because I know a little bit about football, y'all. I kept telling them, I said, Morocco's good, guys. Don't think that Brazil's just going to run over them. Morocco is good. It was a 1-1 tie, right? But while we were there, this one real lively cat, Brazilian dude, he heard me and a girl talking, and the lady from Chile, she teaches English to professionals online. So she's, we're speaking English, and this cat turns around. He had been talking smack, and she was telling me what he was saying to the game and all that. And he turns around and he's like, can I practice my English with you? I said, sure. And he was great, man. And he was struggling. And I was like, man, don't Don't talk down on yourself because you are trying, right? This dude gave me a big hug afterwards, man. And we just sitting up chopping it up, bro. He gave me a big hug. He said, "Thank you for letting me practice." Would that happen in the United States, guys? Would you ever have that happen? That type of genuine exchange, right? So Brazil has something figured out. They have racism, no doubt. And in Rio, it's black people get treated very poorly in Rio. I think in Sao Paulo as well. The further south you go in Brazil, according to the people that I spoke with in Salvador, the further south you go, the lighter it gets. And as we know, the lighter it gets, more we're not treated as well. Okay. But with that being said, these people flow. They don't seem like they're making, they're passing judgment on the way that you look. They don't do that down there. Not from what I saw. And I was looking for it. They don't do that. So Brazil has something figured out. Let me tell you something else this is why you got to travel, guys. I did not know why the United States and Trump was so angry with Brazil and put tariffs on them originally. Because they have a system. This is how far behind the United States is. And they keep telling you that, we're the US is the ghetto. The United States is the ghetto wearing a Gucci belt. Y'all can use that if you want to. The United States is the ghetto wearing a Gucci belt. Because in Brazil, they have something called PIX, P-I-X. It's basically digital currency, guys. There, a lot of places in the world are way ahead of the United States in this. PIX is a payment plan. The reason that Trump is so upset with Brazil is because Visa and MasterCard used to get big fees from Brazil. Brazil is a country of 230 million people, guys. It's a big country. Also, Brazil is in BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa are the 5 founding members. Brazil is a founding member of the BRICS. The PIX payment system, you don't need Visa, you don't need MasterCard. So there were millions of dollars, maybe close to $1 billion, maybe more than that, of fees that were coming out of Brazil every year, just on credit card fees alone. They don't get them anymore because of this new payment system that almost everybody uses. I'm talking about street vendors have QR codes, guys. Street vendors have their own QR code that you can pay for their stuff through this PIX system. Okay? The Airbnb where I went to, facial recognition. You get in the main entrance via showing your face. You get into the health club, show your face. You get into the laundromat. They had a laundromat there. Show your face. Go to the upstairs pool. Facial recognition. Brazil has really good systems in place with money transactions, with transportation. Uber there is way better than it is in the United States. Way better. Way better. The food delivery stuff, the big one's called iFood. Come on, bro. Way better. And Brazil, like Mexico, keep this in mind, guys. As you're looking to get away from dying capitalism, because that's what we're experiencing. That's what y'all are experiencing in the United States. Because I'm not there. Dying capitalism is going to force a lot of people into some very difficult decisions. For me, you want to be in a country that is a stable economic power when you leave the States. Mexico and Brazil are net exporters of food and energy. So they're going to be Brazil and Mexico, along with Nigeria, China, India. I don't necessarily count Russia because their population is is dwindling like the rest of the European nations. But when you look at Mexico, Brazil, South Africa, India, China, these are the places that you want to look at, guys. Okay? Not necessarily China for black people, but Mexico, Brazil, India is kind of, that's, I don't know about India, but you get my point. Brazil is a major food exporter and major energy exporter. So their ability to remain stable is going to be great. And guys, get this. Oh my gosh. So temporary residency here in Mexico, you have to show $75,000 in savings, investments, and things that can be liquidated over a 12-month period. Or you have to show that you have a salary of $5,200 a month for the last 6 months. And then you can get your temporary residency here in Mexico. You know what it is in Brazil? You show $18,000 one time. That's it. Now you got to get your birth certificate. You got to get your FBI background, and those need to be apostilled, basically notarized federally. Fill out the paperwork. That's it. One time, $18,000. I'm getting my Brazilian temporary residency, and I believe in Brazil, after 3 years of temporary residency, you can apply, and they don't turn you down for permanent residency. So I'm going to get that. I'm trying to get it in both countries. No, I'm not trying. I'm getting my residency, my temporary residency in Brazil and Mexico. Okay? Because I don't know the uncertainty that's happening in the States. And I don't want to be in a place where I don't have residency. I'm in on a tourist visa, and now I got to go somewhere and then reset the clock on the tourist visa. And guys, I came through Mexican immigration yesterday. They are cracking down. They gave me a hard time at immigration because I was coming from Panama on my connecting flight from Brazil. I'm coming in from one country. I got a U.S. passport, and they were like, well, where's your round trip ticket? I was like, what you talking about round trip? I wanted, and I finally broke down. I said, look, I've got a key to an apartment that I lease. And they were like, oh, they eventually let me through. They're cracking down, guys, even on U.S. citizens because of what Dookie Pants is doing in D.C. Dookie Pants is messing things up all over the world. They're going to respond. Countries are responding to that. So Mexico is not going to be as welcome moving forward. So that's something to consider, guys, when you're thinking about leaving the country. If you're going to go travel and vacation, that's fine. But if you're really looking to relocate, really start thinking about temporary residency because the ability to go back and forth may not be as good. Now, the lady gave me 6 months on my tourist visa. That used to be automatic and coming through Cancun. That's no longer automatic, guys. They're doing a lot more questioning as you come into Mexico. Okay? So just keep that in mind. All right. Last thing on Bahia or Salvador. And now it's a ways away. So my flight from Cancun to Panama City is about 2.5 hours. The flight from Panama City to Salvador is about 6.5 hours. So you're looking at about a 9 hours in flight, just in the air. So it's a little ways. My son took a direct from Chicago to direct from Chicago to Sao Paulo. That was a 10-hour flight. So it's a little bit further, but it's not as far as Africa and it's not as far as Asia. So keep that in mind. All right. And to me, we got a brother Earl who just sent us a bunch of videos from Thailand. He just went back over there for good. He sent us a bunch of videos. And that's cool. It looks great. It looks all that. Take that and put that in a place with 80% black people. That's what I'm on. I ain't got nothing against Asians or nothing like that because I played in Japan for 4 years. I really respect those Asian countries and their culture and how they treat people. I dig that, right? But I'm sensitive to my blackness. And I don't want to be in a place where my blackness is not celebrated and respected. I'm not spending my money anywhere where that is. Now, I might have to in certain situations because I'm traveling or whatever, but in terms of really setting up shop in a place that I'm not doing that. So consider Brazil, guys. I'm telling you, it will change your life. Let's put it like that. It'll change your life. Seriously. Okay. All right. Now, what's going on at the crib? In Georgia, a black family is having a family reunion. Not a wild ass party, not all crazy loud, a family reunion. This white guy and his wife drive by and shout racial slurs at them. Then 5 minutes later, he comes back with a bulletproof vest and an AR-15 or AR. I don't know the number. It's an AR. It's an automatic rifle. He comes back and starts shooting. Thank goodness, one of the brothers in the family was a former military vet. Took cover and started busting back and hit him. Now he didn't, I think he must have grazed him or something on the arm or something, but hit him. Do you know they charged him with aggravated assault? And they let him out on bail on $5,000? Do you know that this district attorney didn't charge him with a hate crime, didn't charge him with attempted murder, charged him with aggravated assault? There was a 1-year-old. It was either in Mississippi or Alabama just recently. A 1-year-old little black boy, shot by the police. And they're protesting. See, guys, that's why I had to leave, because I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm not the protesting type. I'm the bust back type. I'm gonna watch you. I'm gonna watch your movements for about a week, and I'm gonna wait for the right time, and you're gonna disappear. That's how I am, and I'm not afraid to say it. The way that things are in the United States right now, guys, if you don't know that we're at war, then ain't nothing I can say that's going to help you. We were always prisoners of war. We were always behind enemy lines. It's never been good for us, guys. We get crumbs. We get some that make it through, that break through the poverty and the systems that are created to curtail our development. We get some that bust through, but the majority of us are still catching hell, guys. And so now these bigots and these crackers feel emboldened, right? That's why I can't be there, because I'm not sitting around getting upset. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna get you back. I'm an eye for an eye. Oh, did y'all heard about the brother in I want to say it was somewhere in Ohio. All these are recent, gentlemen. This brother, his son, teenage son, gets pulled over on a traffic stop. He's going to reach in the glove compartment to get his insurance card. Philando Castile, I believe that was the brother's name in Minnesota. They got shot doing the same thing with an infant child and his woman in the car with him. Y'all remember that? But this was a teenage boy who's reaching in the glove compartment for his insurance, and these police shoot him. You know what the son's dad did? He figured out where the dude lived. He saw the guy, this police officer's daughter, going to prom. Waits for the limo to stop to where they're going. She gets out. He unalives her, yells eye for an eye, and waits for the police. That's the energy I'm on. Now, I feel bad for that young lady losing her life. But if that dude feels emboldened to take black lives like that, hey, then we're at war. That's what it is. That's my mentality. I'm not, oh, we can convince these people to do better and they bump that. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And if you can't see that, then this conversation in next chapter 4 is not for you. Because I'm not on some kumbaya bull crap. I'm not on that. I know what these devils are. They're devils, right? Not all of them. Not all of them. Just like Muhammad Ali said, this is my life philosophy. I'm looking at, I'm in a doorway, right? I've got ability to close this door because there are 10,000 rattlesnakes coming down the hallway towards this entrance. Am I going to sit here and try to pick out the good ones and then get bit? Or am I just going to close the door? I'm going to protect myself. And that doesn't mean that I'm nasty towards white people. That's contrary. That's not what I am. I'm a world citizen. So anybody I see, I'm going to give you respect because that's my standard. I'm world class. That's my standard. I give you respect. But I'm also not naive. So I do filter them people a lot more than I do anybody else. Okay? I ain't got time. If there's 10,000 rattlesnakes coming down this hallway and I got a chance to close the door, I'm closing the damn door on all of them. And then I can apologize later. But if I'm like, oh no, these are some good ones, and now I'm bitten, and I'm looking at them like, well, man, why'd you bite me? Because I'm a snake. And that's what snakes do. So I'm not on that, right? And they're showing us. They're showing us. So, I don't know. I'm a high agency cat. So when I say I'm going to do something, I usually end up doing it. And I don't really care about the obstacles and all that. I just get it done. A lot of people aren't like that. And a lot of people are paralyzed by their minds. Okay. So guys, the temperature is really turning up. And, I'm unapologetic about my love for black people and love for people in general who aren't bigots and who are nasty towards us. Okay. All right. Let me get to your questions. Thanks for your patience, guys. I appreciate it. Damn, I went 37 minutes talking about that. What's up, A-Boogie? Good to see you. Salute to you, partner. Thanks for tuning in. E-Rod, what's good? Bianca, wait a minute. Yes, there it is. Bianca Miento. Bianca Miento. Thank you, E-Rod. That is the whitening of society. That's the term that Argentina used, that Brazil used, that all of Latin America basically used. Oh, okay. Blue smoke. M block K miento. Okay, so see, we're starting to get these terms in here, right? Thank you for that, Blue Smoke and E-Rod. I appreciate you guys. Brazil will change your life. Global paper. Listen, guys, I'm telling you, global paper knows it'll change your life. What's up? Peace L to 8494. My man, good to see you. Wait a minute. Here's Emmanuel. Talk about people showing you an obvious fake smile in the United States. Hell, I have never even experienced that much. Perhaps because of your popularity status compared to an unknown like myself. No, Emmanuel, you've had it happen. You just don't remember it. You've had it happen. Because in my experience, and maybe you guys' experience may be a little bit different. When you're coming into a space and there are white women or white men who are intimidated by your appearance or just intimidated by you based on wherever it is in their mind, right? The fake smile, in my opinion, is for them, it's a defense mechanism because they're trying to control what their emotions are doing. And they're trying to control their face because if they really showed you on their face what they were thinking, you would pick up on it. And they think that would put them in danger. So that's why you get that. And then, like, if I do it all the time when I see somebody fake smile at me like that, because I get it sometimes here, and it's not from Mexican people, it's from Americans, Canadians, Europeans, like that. And so when it happens, and they do that, because normally I'm walking this way and they're walking this way, so we're going to cross. But my peripheral vision is that of a basketball player. I can see like this. Like beyond my eye level, I can see a little bit further than that with my peripheral vision. So what I do when I see that happening and they go, and I don't change, I just keep walking. I just look at them like they're crazy. I keep walking. I can see their face change immediately. Right as they're coming past me, they think, okay, I'm past them. They're back to the mean mug. So that's what it is. It's happened to you before. You probably just don't remember it. The collection of villain castaway Europeans are quite different from any other group in the world. Villains in real world, there's no doubt. And we're not saying all Europeans. We're not saying all white people. That's not what we're on. We're a classy group of black people. Next chapter 4 community. My free agents are the free agents in this community. We're classy people. We don't respond like they do, right? We're the embodiment of what Christ is. Black people in the diaspora are the example of God. And we act like God-like. That's why they've been able to take advantage of us, because we've been God-like. We are God-like. Okay? Let's see. Where am I here? When an innocent child at age 1 isn't even safe from white hatred, that really says a hell of a lot, doesn't it? Emmanuel, I can't say any better. Go look it up, guys. A 1-year-old black boy was shot by the police. Let me share another thing with you. White guy from the States. I don't even want, yeah, I do, because we need to hear it. White guy from the States is in Colombia. I think the way they describe it, he's on a porch that's slightly higher than street level, but if you look, you can easily see. He's sodomizing a 7-year-old child. The local people see him and yell at him to stop. He won't stop. And he gets arrested. When the police showed up, guys, he had another 5-year-old in the house. He'd adopted these kids. This was a 35-year-old white male from the United States in Colombia, adopting children and sodomizing them. 7 and 5 years old. That's what you're dealing with in the United States, man. Okay? I'm not making, y'all know, man, I don't make stuff up because I don't have to. What's up, A Boogie? Freedom fighter. But unfortunately, society's like that. Guys, I saw on the plane back, I saw Judas. It was a story about the Black Panthers and Fred Hampton and how really talented brother actor. He goes undercover. It's a great movie. Bro. J. Edgar Hoover's character was asking the main FBI officer that set up the brother being undercover. He asked the main FBI officer, white dude, who had been at war. He served his country in, was it Vietnam? Yeah, I think he was in Vietnam. His daughter was 10 or 11 months. J. Edgar Hoover's asking this guy, what are you going to do when your daughter brings a black man home? And he's caught off. He's looking around like, what kind of damn question is that? He's like, well, sir, she's 10 months old. He said, yeah, I know that. He said, but what's going to happen when she brings a black man home? He said, I don't understand what you mean. He said, if we let Fred Hampton and this Black Panther Party go, that's what's going to happen. We're going to lose our way of life. That's how these people think, guys. Right? That's how they think. They know that they're not having babies. Their women don't want them anymore. Y'all know that, right? There's a popular YouTube white lady that for some reason a lot of bigots confided in her. She did a like a 3 or 4 part video series about the different dynamics with white men and white women in the United States. And for some reason, all these bigots started coming at her, telling her that, you know, I got micro equipment, so I'm having a hard time pleasing my girlfriend. I can't compete with these black guys. All these black women, or all these white women now want black guys. Dude, this is a real thing, guys. I know y'all don't sit around thinking about this because we got better things to do. But when you look at what's happening in the States, guys, all this stuff is coming to a head at the same time. I think, in my opinion, guys, for black people in the United States, it's going to be really, really, it's going to be difficult. And by the 6 months, you'll be like, man, Bardo said that back in June. It's going to be really difficult, guys. I'm just saying, no scare tactics whatsoever, because you're strong enough to withstand anything. We already have. You'll survive. But do you want to survive or do you want to thrive? Do you simply want to hold on and wait for it to get better? Or do you want to put that energy into planning something to where you can actually take a deep breath and relax? Because, guys, let's face it. We black men, our own families don't really respect us the way they should. They don't appreciate what we do for them. They don't. We try to act like they do, and we would want them to and all that. They don't. Being a black father and husband is the least you receive the least amount of gratitude and do the most freaking work. Being a black father and a black husband, you have an incredible amount of responsibility. You have to be accountable. You got to provide and you got to protect. And people who are not black men, the black women, black children, they don't understand your plight. Sisters catch hell out in the way. Nothing like us. Nothing like us. So black women who are listening, please don't get upset when black men have had enough and they go to another country to get a different type of woman. Because we have to fight when we leave the house. We have to be on guard. We have to fight at work. We have to figure out man, what angle are they coming from? Oh man, what are they talking about? They said this, but I got to read between the lines. You know how freaking exhausting that is? And for those of us that are in 50s, 60s, 70-year-old, we don't want to deal with that shit no more. We don't want to deal with that. And then you're out in the world, and then you come home and you get challenged by your woman. For what? One of the elders in my family was telling me, women just gonna try you, Stephen. That's just what it is. For what? Why? What? I don't want that shit. I get it. I get it. Most women don't understand what peace means to men. You know what peace means to men? Leaving us alone and let us do whatever we want to do. And what that may consist of is us looking out of a window, smiling. Nothing else. Because ain't nobody pulling at us. Don't nobody need nothing. Don't nobody want nothing. We are at peace because we're within ourselves. We don't have to translate what this cat is saying. We don't have to look. We don't have to tiptoe around white female coworkers because they might just they might cry and we end up getting strung up, right? There's a lot to this, guys, and just know, black men, I know your pain. I know where you are. We're ticking time bombs. I know what it is to feel unappreciated. It got to the point, man, where I sent my dad a text yesterday. And I said, Dad, my dad's 87. I said, Dad, be honest with me. Do you feel like we're grateful and appreciative of what you've been to us as a father? You know what he said to me? And my old man is as real as they come. He said, I'm good. He said, me knowing that you love me is more than sufficient for me. Now, let me repeat that and slow it down so you guys can really feel this. He said, I'm good. Don't we all say that? Regardless of the situation, he said, I'm good. Me knowing that you love me is more than sufficient for me. That means my dad has taken the things that everybody else, white men, white women, Hispanic men, not Hispanic because that's a made up term, Latin men, Latin women, Asian men, Asian women, even maybe even African men, African women, who knows? But he's taken the things that a lot of people would look for from their family members, and he ain't even looking for it because he knows he ain't getting it. That's how deep this stuff runs, guys. The level of compartmentalization that black men have to have. We have so many chambers, and common thought online will say, oh, men are simple. Yeah, we're simple on the surface because we have to be. Okay? Keep that in mind as we keep going forward. Mark Cano, what's up, Mark? Good to see you, man. Thanks for jumping in. You're absolutely GD right. Blanco equals white equals whitening. Blanqueamiento. There it is, A Boogie. Thank you for that breakdown. Thank you. Yes, Mark. And you know, if we look at it like that, and we look at it from, it's a sickness that hopefully will be healed, but how does that look? And we know that the powers that be are not going to have anything to do with the healing. So I don't know that any of us can envision what this is going to actually turn out to be, right? I don't know that any of us are that clairvoyant, but I will go out. I'll go way out in the stratosphere for a second. Do you guys know that the government has these things called Project Looking Glass? Have you heard about this? Where the government will project out into the future, different scenarios, and you know that every one of them had them out of here. Their own technology used to time travel, and they've gone out and looked at various scenarios, and every one of them that comes back is that they're out of here. Okay? You all notice the sun lately is really intense. Y'all notice that? I've been hearing back in the States, folks complaining about how intense the sun is. Do you know what the sun does to Caucasian people? Where when it hits black people, it's a positive thing. There's something in their makeup, in their molecular makeup, that when the sun hits them, it's almost poison. There's a reaction in their bodies that makes it so that their skin can't handle it. Okay? And I don't know the scientific term for it, but I know this is way out there. But guys, people are talking about these topics like this. So we're in I believe Mother Earth is cleansing the earth of the nonsense that's gone on for the past 500 years. Mother Earth is shaking things up. Elements that were once okay, they're different now. Things are different. Keep your eyes open. Oh my goodness. I love y'all. Black Legs. What's up, Black Legs? I hope y'all laughing as hard as I am, because he ain't wrong. He is not wrong. Oh man. Whoo, I needed that laugh. That was good. So yeah, guys. My main point today was to come on and share some of my experiences and to have you looking out later on the week for that longer video that I'm going to post about Brazil and my experiences. But I want you guys to understand that every week I come on here, I can give 40 examples of some craziness that's going on in the States. So if you guys are listening and you're a black male over 50 or you're a black sister, whatever, and you're interested in what Next Chapter Forward is doing in terms of helping black people relocate out of the United States, go to my bio and get your global scouting report. 8 questions, takes 2 minutes. It gives you your score of your readiness to relocate. There's 4 categories. You're a dreamer, you're a planner, you're a packer, or you're ready to relocate. Okay. It's easy. It signs you up for the mailing list. Okay. All right. If that interests you, go get your global scouting report today. All right. All right, here we go. What's the manual saying here? As much as I want to exit out of Dodge because of my financial status, I won't bypass some of the country's visa rules, including those in Latin countries. Yeah, Emmanuel, I think, guys, the visa, and here is my opinion, and please put in the comments what you think about this. To me, the temporary visas are to protect you. Because I'm anticipating that we're not going to be able to come and go out of the United States as easily as we've been doing. I think that's coming. So if we're not going to be able to come to Mexico and get 6 months tourist visa immediately, hang for a while, get out, and then come back. That's what a lot of the brothers have been doing here, right? I don't know that that's going to be available. So the temporary visa, the temporary residency is a protection for you. In case the status changes and you can't get in and out of the United States, even with a passport, you guys, you don't know what Dookie Pants is going to do. That dude and his homies they've got a plan, but it's so anti-human, definitely anti-black, that we don't want to. Let's just be prepared. Let's stop reacting to them. Let's go back and look at Project 2025, because everything they're doing is in there. And then prepare yourself for the different layers of that. That's the best way to bulletproof yourself, in my opinion, if you want to be outside the United States. Some of you may not want to pursue a temporary residency. I get that. That's fine. But just understand that your ability with this blue passport, with that U.S. passport, where you can freely travel now, that status may change. And I'm of the mindset that we want to have as many options as available to us. I think that's very important. Okay. All right. Let's see. A Boogie said, oh no, wait a minute. I'm envisioning not going to be able to come and go. Yes, Mark. I'm just saying, guys, how is it that all these sleeper cells that exist in the United States, the countries haven't ignited them yet? There are sleeper cells of Iranians, Chinese, Russian, Ukrainian, North Korean, even. These countries that are adversaries to the United States, they have people inside the United States that train, that, disguise themselves. But when the call comes, they'll activate. And so, all this peace talk crap, I don't believe none of it. I don't believe none of it. With Iran, I don't believe none of it. Because those imposters over there in West Asia, they ain't happy about that, guys. And they're not going to sit still. They're not going to sit here, and if that peace deal is indeed true, they're not going to sit there and let that happen. They now feel like the United States has turned their back on them. That's not going to be good, guys. If this is indeed true. Now we got to wait and see if it's true. I don't think it's true because I don't believe anything that comes out of the Brown House. Because Barack Obama was the first black president of the United States. But Dookie Pants was the first nigga to occupy the Brown House. Because it ain't the White House no more. It's the Brown House. Because they've been defecating all over it. A UFC match on the White House lawn. I'm going to repeat that again. Somebody in here said the U.S. is a sick society. Oh, Mark said it. A UFC stadium built on a White House lawn, and they couldn't just keep to themselves. One of the fighters had to say that Michelle Obama isn't a woman. And guys, just like when they call us the N-word, I wish we wouldn't even react to it. Don't react to it. They're desperate. They're desperate. They so want to unleash these weapons on our community. Our ancestors said, no, sit down, Negro. Chill out. Y'all notice that we moved in a way and there's no BET or there's no Tom Joyner morning show. Y'all recognize that? There wasn't one call that was sent out to Black America. We all just listened to the ancestors. Right? So please, guys, free agents and other people who are watching, who want to be a part of this next chapter forward, we ain't responding to that because we know what it is. Y'all are desperate. Y'all are desperate. Dookie Pants' wife is a hoe. That trick is a hoe. Plain and simple. He went and got a hoe. And don't nobody even refer to her as the first wife. Because it's embarrassing. I mean, like, it's comical, guys. The U.S. is a very sick society. Booyah. Thank you, Mark. Because to have a USC event on a White House lawn, and then what do the Obamas have to do with any of this? Because Obama, thank you, Max, for saying this. My brother here in Playa, one of the brothers in our group, Max says they're infatuated with the Obamas because the Obamas are everything that they're not. Barack didn't crap his pants in meetings. He didn't fall asleep on people. Michelle you'll never find inappropriate picture, image, or video of Michelle Obama. Is as classy as any first lady we've ever had. Probably the classiest. Okay? And Y'all got the White House. Y'all got a UFC stadium on the White House lawn. And the first thing that you could think about is black people? They're desperate, guys. Desperate. It's a sick ass society. That's why I ain't there. But thank you, Mark. But just keep this in mind. We don't have to respond to this mess. Every time they do something. My man, I'm not gonna put his name out there. My man told me, y'all know how we do when we're in public spaces. We like to find a space that's kind of ours, especially if you don't want to be dealing with nobody and it's not crowded. So he goes and finds a spot, plenty of seats and all this, plenty, probably one of those airline gates that may not have a plane coming through it. So you sit there, you can see your gate, but you just want to sit because you just want to chill. You don't want to be crowded. He said this white cat came over and sat down right next to him and then just started talking about politics. Then he said he kept doing this. So he knew he'd taken a bump in the bathroom. So he gets up and walks away, but the dude is still nodding at him, still looking at him, nodding at him. Right? That's desperation, guys. They know we're pulling away. They know we're learning the truth. Some of us have, most of us still have colonial amnesia. I don't. I know we're indigenous to the land. That's our land. That's why we'll never get reparations. Y'all do know that, right? They're not going to give us reparations because if they gave us true reparations, they'd have to leave. They're not doing that. We're indigenous to that land. My people didn't come from Africa. We're all from Africa, but a lot of us are indigenous to the Americas. And how do I know that? Because I've been to the continent 4 times in 3 different countries. They don't relate to us like that. They look at us just like white foreigners. They look at African Americans as white foreigners. They make no differentiation between the two. That's in Uganda, that's in Ghana, that's in Nigeria, that's in Senegal. I don't know if it's in Kenya, but the reason I know these things, guys, is because those 3 of those countries I've been to, Ghana twice, Senegal, and Nigeria. Uganda, there's a sister over there that's trying to, she had purchased land and she's developing the land. She pays these local workers more than they would make in comparable jobs, right? She hired women to come and cook for these workers while they're working to incentivize them to work, right? So she goes and pays for 10 bags of concrete, but only 6 come back because somebody took 4 bags. She's got tools that they'll use. They'll steal the tools and go sell them. And the explanation that she was getting was that they view you like a white foreigner. You're basically a white foreigner. So they don't relate to us. And you know why they don't relate to us? Because they know we're not from there. We're from the Americas. So, yeah, man. Y'all, I could go so deep into this, but I won't freak you out. I want to help you guys who are really interested in relocating to relocate because life in the United States is becoming increasingly more difficult. And when a 1-year-old black child gets shot by the police and they're protecting that officer, or the guy that does a drive-by on a black family reunion at their house. It wasn't at a park. And this cracker comes back with an AK-47 and starts busting. That's attempted murder. And they charge him with aggravated assault. And then let him go on $5,000 bail. And then we got a 16-year-old girl that was found hung on church grounds. A brother that was hung in the vicinity of a police station. A burning cross in Chicago, in downtown Chicago? Do you guys know that that the city of Chicago has more surveillance cameras than anywhere in the country? You didn't know that, did you? They call it CCTV, closed caption television. Chicago has the most extensive closed caption network in the country. You can't do nothing in Chicago without somebody seeing it. And there was a burning cross in Chicago. Guys are desperate. And the more desperate they become, the more difficult they're going to make your life. Okay? So if you're going to stay, cool. Just know you got to prepare. How that looks for you and your family is up to you. But you're going to have to protect yourself. And let's go back to the keys, guys. What are the keys for Black America? There's only two things that we really need to be concerned about. Money and protection. How are you going to generate enough money that when all these jobs go away, because they're going away, guys. You see that, right? There's only going to be a few career areas that will have a sufficient amount of jobs. The rest of them are going away. So what are you going to do for money? And are you packing enough? Do you have enough weapons to protect yourself? That's it. Everything else doesn't really matter. Politics don't matter for us. They've never served us. When Barack was in office twice, the reason I say it doesn't serve, he can't do anything. The system is set up that you can't do anything on a large mass scale for Black people. And he got the Affordable Health Care Act through. That was a near miracle, but he got it done. But he was handcuffed. And any Black president in the United States, they're not going to let you do for Black people. Okay? So if you're going to stay, make the preparation for you and your family. If you want to leave and you're interested in needing some help, next chapter forward, we got you. Go get your global scouting report. Fill that out. You'll be on the email list. You'll get a readiness score of your ability to relocate. The questions that are asked in that little questionnaire: how much money have you saved up towards relocation? What is the lifestyle that you want to have when you relocate? Do you want to be in the mountains? You want to be in the woods? You want to be at the beach? You want cold climate? You want warm climate? You want temperate climate? All these different things. Okay? I'd love to help you. All right? Let's see. Dookie Pants, motocross too. Yeah. Yep. What's good, Kevin? Good to see you, brother. BG Intentional. What's up, BG? Good to see you. Hey, Boogie, come on now. I thought Nancy Reagan was okay. Because wasn't she the one that said, she was the one that was she was against the drugs, right? And she was like, she had some funny saying, but I thought Nancy was okay. Her husband was a trip, but I thought Nancy was okay. Ooh. Okay. Preach, Kevin. Preach. All right. I don't disagree with you. It's not about relating. It's about SNA, or you mean DNA? You look Native American to me anyway, though. I've been told that, and my skin tone is such that I'm out in the sun all the time, guys. I should be as black as this phone screen. So I've got some mixture in there, just like we all do. Okay, you did say DNA. Okay. Yep. Let's see. It seems. Wait a minute. It seems that African American people are displaced globally. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 No doubt. No doubt. And, guys, I mean, like, y'all help me out with this. I was always taught that Marcus Garvey was this Pan-Africanist. I've seen 2 videos lately while I was in Salvador that said that Marcus Garvey was working with the U.S. government. I got to do more research to really believe this through and through. But think about it now. He was trying to get black people in the United States to go to Africa. So the country of Liberia right now is full of African-American descendants. And this lady's argument was that Marcus Garvey was working with the U.S. government because he's Jamaican. And when Marcus Garvey he crossed or did something that he wasn't supposed to do, and he got deported to Jamaica. He was no longer able to stay in the United States. They came and deported him back to his home country of Jamaica. So when I'm hearing these things and the way that people were portrayed as I was growing up was one way, and now the information that's coming out seems to be totally different. So there's so many lies told about us to us. And as one young brother asked a very good question on TikTok. He said, what do they know that we don't know? What do guys, use your thesaurus right now, because we're going to rename these greedy people who have a lot of money. They're not elite in anything. I refuse to call greedy people elite. But what do they know that set up this huge worldwide system that has stripped us of our memory? What do they know that we don't know? I know about melanin. I know the power of it. I know what the sun does for people of our complexion. We get downloads through our hair. Downloads meaning information. We get information through our bodies, through our hair. Melanin is a super material. It's like it has properties similar to metal that it's a conductor of electricity. There you go, right? And I've said this before, guys. Y'all know that we black people can talk to each other without speaking. Y'all know that because you've done it. When a brother looks at you and you're in a certain situation, you've been in a situation where you and this other brother were only 2 brothers in there. It could be different white people, could be different Latino people, could be different doesn't matter. And you all make eye contact, or you hear something at the same time and you look at each other. We have that ability. Y'all know that, right? We can communicate with each other without speaking. We're the only ones on the planet can do that. That's a small part of what I know of our capabilities. But it's vastly greater than that. So just think, sometimes, man, go down a rabbit hole if you got it 30 minutes or an hour. What do they know that we don't know about ourselves? That had them create this incredibly vast system that works on a worldwide level. What is it? Why is it that when 3 or 4 of us come together anywhere in their presence, they get nervous? Oh, what are you guys doing? Y'all seen that, right? You've seen that. You've experienced that. And like, we're the only black person, and it's 4 or 5 of them. We're trying to get the other way. Because I know if 3 to 5 of them get together and they think a certain way, they're plotting to do something to me. I know that. Unfortunately, Carmelo Anthony found that out the hard way. Right? So, yeah, man, just think about that, guys. What do they know that we don't? Vegas Dev, you preaching, brother. I'm the same way. I wouldn't go back to the States. If my family wasn't there, because, guys, I'm not even the same when I go back. Like, I can't fully relax and until I get to my parents' house and I'm inside the house, then I can relax. And we've got a little bit of land, so I can walk around. I can feel relaxed because we're on our land. But until I can get back to that, I mean, man, I'm a 20-year veteran of Chicago. I used to live in Chicago for 27 years. I'm a Chicagoan. That's my city. If I stay on the South Side when I go, because I'm around black people, and I can read us a lot better than I can read anybody else, and I know where I'm going, right? But even then, I feel the heaviness. I feel it. I wouldn't be, bro. I'm just saying, when my people make their transition, I'm gonna be just like you, Vegas Dev. Now, I'm hopeful that things will improve after a while, but that could be, who knows how long that's going to be, because the damage that Dookie Pants and them are doing right now is going to take years to repair, if they can be repaired at all. But I'm with you, bro. I am with you. Yep. And then they took the Affordable Care Act away from us this year. Preach. John Public, who are you referring to here? He wasn't handcuffed. He has no loyalty. Oh, you talking about Barack. It could be the case, even though he's married to one. He has no loyalties to Black Americans, even though he's married to one. I mean, I respect your point. Thanks for tuning in, John. I think this is the first time I've seen you, but thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. If you haven't already, go to my bio and get your global scouting report. It's very, very easy, very quick. What's up, Brady? You're in Salvador, a place I would like to get to someday. I'd rather move to a place where the disrespect isn't as blatant as it is in the United States. Keep speaking knowledge to us. Brady, let me tell you something, brother. I want you to be in a place where you don't even have to worry about disrespect, because here's the cheat code. And I don't like saying this a lot, but I'm going to start saying this because I need to get educated by this. We have to take advantage of America. Here's why I say that. Because it's still thought that around the world, the language of business is English, right? And if you're an American and you go different parts of the world, you're going to be richer than the majority of people that you encounter. Okay? And now I don't want you going to different places like I'm Black American on your forehead. Don't do that. But what happens is when people find out that you're Black American, you get treated better. You get treated better than the local Black people there. And we need now, I don't want you to disadvantage someone or to act like an ass to other people who are being mistreated. That's not what we do. Remember, guys, we're world class. We're going to be classy wherever we go because that's who we are. We're just world class. But my point, you speak the business language of the world. You have one of the best currencies in the world. And you as a Black American, every Black person in the diaspora that isn't Black Americans recognizes Black Americans. Okay? We need to take advantage of that. The women around the world know it. That's why Black men have such success meeting women from other races when they go to these countries because they know the deal. Like Southeast Asia has become so popular here recently. Go look at YouTube videos about black people in Southeast Asia, what the brothers do, right? It's a bunch of passport bros over there just kicking it. Now, that's not what I'm on. I'm not trying to take advantage of anybody, but if I'm more desirable based on my qualifications, why wouldn't I take advantage of that? Right? Not to abuse or disrespect people, but to feel respected, to feel special, to feel wanted, to feel safe, right? We have this ability. I don't know how long it's going to last because I don't know how long the dollar's going to hold up. And obviously, Trump, Dookie Pants is trying to make everybody dislike the United States. He's trying to be an isolationist, okay? But it's still in effect. So when I was in Salvador, people thought I was one of them, and I was getting treated like they knew I was American. But that's just how they rock down there. But I did meet a Brazilian sister, and when she found out I was American, and then she found out I played basketball, she lost her mind. I could have got the panties on the spot if I wanted to, but that ain't how I get down. But I'm just giving you an example, guys. Okay? We need to take advantage of that while we still can. That's not fear-mongering. That's facts. And the brothers that are wait a minute. We've had a couple of brothers that talk. Mark is out. Mark's left. Wait a minute. There's a few of you all that have left already, right? They know what I'm talking about. Brother Dennis and John Thompson, not the great legend from Georgetown. John Thompson is a brother from New York. He's in his 80s. He's been down in Rio de Janeiro for the last 42 years. I got a chance to speak with him on the phone when I was in Brazil. And I'm gonna interview him and another brother, Dennis, who's from Chicago. Dennis goes down to Brazil 2 or 3 times a year. He's learning Portuguese, he's learning Spanish, and these brothers are fascinating. And they talk about their experiences, not only with women, but just how far your dollar goes down there. Okay? So we need to think about these things and think about, I love Brady's comment because he'd rather move to a place where the disrespect isn't as blatant. And it's no shade to you, Brady. That's how we've been taught to think. That we got to find a place that's less disrespectful. Not a place that's respectful just off the top, but a place that's less disrespectful. Okay? So we got to start thinking a little bit differently. Because guys, these people, the powers that be, understand that if we leave the United States, we probably won't come back. They know that. All right. Oh, here we go. Booyah. I've been out of the States 8 years, and I find racism is everywhere you look for it. I stopped looking for it, haven't seen it in 8 years. This is the truth. Now, you know what? The Gerald, if I'm saying that right. Preach, brother, because that was a mistake of mine, going around looking for it. That's a great point. Okay? That is a great point. However, I wasn't looking for it at that restaurant, but I received it. Even though I'd spent thousands of dollars at this restaurant, I still got it. I wasn't looking for it, but I still received it. So it is there. But I think the Gerard's approach to it is the one that we need to take. So that's spot on, brother. Thank you for that. Now, if you don't mind, and you may have said this before, and I don't remember, where did you relocate to? If you don't mind sharing that with us. Obama did more than any other potential candidate could have done, though. I agree with that. We should look at it from that perspective. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Nancy Reagan, just say no. Wait a minute. Guys, you recognize that name? Y'all recognize that name right there? That's my youngest son. What's up, Landon? How you doing, babe? Love you. Good to see you on here. Landon is in his travels right now. I'm not going to blow up the spot, but he's a world traveler. He's doing his thing. Love seeing you on there, partner. Hope you're having a good time. Oh my God, y'all are killing me today. That Glock 9000. Oh my goodness. Ooh, y'all got me tickled today. That's a good one. Oh my gosh. They say Marcus never. So y'all did hear the same thing about Marcus Garvey. I'm just getting up on it. I thought Marcus was one of us, like, you know, trying to get us away from all this madness. But bro, okay, so I'm not the only one that's heard this stuff about Marcus Garvey. Okay, thank you for that, because I don't want to sound too crazy on here, because I don't want y'all to be like, man, I ain't fooling with this Negro. This Negro's crazy. I am a little crazy because grew up in the States as a black man, but I don't know, man. The stuff, you almost have to really deny everything that we learned and relearn things with this new lens or this new information that we receive. So crazy. Barry, hold on, Barry Mary. Hold on. I wish I went to an HBCU. There's so much I need to learn too about the truth of African American history. You may not get it at every HBCU now. Don't get it twisted there, because a lot of HBCUs are run by white folks. So now, I mean, look, my niece graduated from Howard. Howard's lacking, y'all. Howard's got a great reputation. It's not a great school. Okay. So you're better off doing your own research on the history than getting something from an establishment, because establishments have certain criteria that they have to meet. If they don't meet that criteria, they can't get funding. So I'd be very leery about, I know you're not going to go back to school or whatever, but I'm just saying, we think that HBCUs are doing what they're supposed to be doing. The thing that, to me, what HBCUs do the best is they give black students confidence. And in my opinion, confidence is one of the top 3 or 5 things that you have to have in this world, especially as a black person. You have got to be confident, because they'll beat you down if you're not. All right. Log Warrior says Garvey was accused of mail fraud. Okay. Right. Just like Fred Hampton was accused of stealing ice cream, and they sentenced him to 3 years in the Menard prison in Illinois. They make stuff up all the time. Right. Not saying that wasn't the case, Log Warrior. But if he was charged with mail fraud, that activity was probably going on before, but when he broke away from something he wasn't supposed to break away from, then they get you. Okay? I kind of liken it to what Bill Cosby went through. It appears as though he really abused these women, but it was okay until he decided to buy NBC. When he was about to buy NBC, that's when all the allegations came out. So Marcus Garvey probably broke away from something, or made a statement, or did something he wasn't supposed to. And then all of a sudden, that illegal activity that was okay at one point, now it's illegal. But thank you for that clarification, Log Warrior. I think this is the first time you're on here as well. If it is, welcome. Have you seen the original emblem of America? You have to see it. Copper colored. We have been in America long before Columbus. Jasher, say it, brother. Say it. I want you guys, hey, let's all do what he suggests we do. Let's go look up shoot, I can do you one better. The original emblem of the United States. Let's find this. Original, because I'll share my screen. Emblem of because y'all know the United States. Because you know the first 7 black presidents of the United States were black, don't you? Did you guys know that? The first 7 presidents in the United States were black. And that's a simple Google search. Go look it up. People freak out when they see it too. Let's see. Okay. I'm looking at something. I'm looking at the, are you referring to the eagle symbol? Jasher, are you? Yeah, because they're only showing that eagle with the prongs, the olive branch, the sword, the arrows. That's what I'm seeing. I don't see anything that's non. Wait a minute. Hold on. I don't see it. I don't see it, Jasher. If you could help me out, point me in the right direction, put in the comments where I can, the terminology I got to look up, because I'm going through here. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. I'm going to share the screen. All right. You guys see all these? And I put original Great Seal of the United States. This was the second thing that came up because I thought it would give me something different. And now this one right here, let's see what this is. No, that's not. Nope. But we could look at this, and I'm sure he's found something that depicts the copper colored people, which that's us. And so let me stop this. There we go. Okay. All right. I'm gonna look that up. Yes. Barry, just what I was saying. Yep. Okay. Yeah, we're not calling them elite. He molests children. And you think you're elite? A Boogie. Bro, our history, it's filled with instances of this. There's a mechanism, in my opinion, that is taking place within the U.S. educational system. There's something that they implemented on us when we go to school, in that when certain people are attacked or harmed or unalived, we have no problem remembering that. But when Black people are harmed, unalived, tortured, we don't remember that as strongly. So all of those examples that I shared with you all earlier in this live, the 16-year-old girl found unalive via hanging, the teenage boy unalive via hanging, another teenage boy who got chased down. He's walking somewhere. He gets chased down by these white boys. They beat him. They burn him. They shoot him in the back of his head, and they dismember his body. And the police weren't going to investigate it. I can give you 50 examples of this all within the last 5 years. But yet we have certain black people in the United States who are trying to look for the good in people, or saying, oh, it's not that bad, whatever. Vegas, Barry Merritt, my brother went to an HBCU. Trust me, one is not enough to learn or preach. Not like us. Not like black people. I disagree with that. I totally disagree with that. I disagree with that. And you know what you just said, Gerard? You said you're half white. I wasn't talking about white people. I'm talking about us. I'm talking about black people. On a cultural, there are looks that I can give a sis that a non-black wouldn't understand. Exactly. But I'm also saying from telepathy, is that what it's called? Telepathy? We have telepathy. Okay? Don't be so close. Okay. So I was giving you some love, Gerard, but please don't come on here and try to lecture me or anybody else, any of the other free agents in our community about this. We ain't less, but we ain't more either. We're more. I know you're half white and you're trying to hold up your whiteness. So that's cool, but we're more. We're not less, we're more. We are. Because if we weren't more, we wouldn't be in this situation. Like if they were like us, then there'd be world harmony. Because not one black country has started a war that has affected the world ever. Not one. There's 73 so-called black countries in the world, 54 in Africa. And well, see, that's the whole thing. I don't consider Morocco, Algeria, Libya, yes. Even Egypt now, I don't know. Those are imposters. They're called Africans, but they're not African. So let's just say at least 70 countries around the world are so-called black countries. They've never started a world war. So we are more than them. Because when the world was ruled by us, there was commerce, there was trade. The Moors brought your other half out of caves. The Moors taught your other half that you can't live with livestock in your house. That's how you get tuberculosis. Your house is unclean. Your other half didn't know how to bathe before the Moors ruled that area. Okay? So we are more. So here's another example. Let's stay on that same thing. During the 800 years of Moorish rule in Europe, there was, before the Moors, the bubonic plague. All these plagues fell on Europe. The Europeans used to fight each other all the time. And the Moors come in and provide structure. They taught them how to deal with their sewage. Europeans didn't know how to deal with their own sewage. That's why cholera and plagues would come about because these were unclean people. This is all in history. It's not my opinion. This is all in history. Okay? So we are more. And when we start understanding that we're more, we'll be better off. There's a movie, I Love Boosters. I think that's encouraging stalking, so expect more. I hope not. I hope not. Extreme trauma, murder, thievery, and theft of your name and a free mind is without worry. Keeps you without joy. They are the energy vampires. Preach, L. Preach. John Hamilton. I'm always on edge when I return back to the U.S. I don't exhale until I come back home to Brazil. Touchdown. John Washington is in Brazil. Good to see you. John, is this your first time on? If it is, welcome, brother. I'm so glad you're here. If you don't mind sharing, what part of Brazil are you in? Because next time I'm checking you out because I'm going back to Brazil. And it's going to be way sooner than later. Trust me. Yeah, I know. It is tough, Kevin, because, we want to see things improve for everybody, not just for Black people. We want to see things improve for everybody because that's how we are. There are no Black groups anywhere in the United States that are funded that wake up in the morning thinking about the demise of another group of people. There's only one group of people that do that. It's not us. And I like to speak hopeful language, Kevin, not just because my youngest son is tuning in or he was in early. He may not be in here now, but I don't like giving negative language to younger people because it doesn't give them hope. And one of the things that sustained Black people throughout our mistreatment in the United States is hope. Okay. Brian, this isn't Illinois basketball, bro. This is next chapter forward. You're in the wrong place. I appreciate your sentiment, but this is not what this is. Yes, Black Americans are treated better because you're American and have more money than exactly. That's what I said. Blacks from other countries may be more subservient with less money, more of a threat. I don't know if I agree with that second part. I stated the first part earlier. I don't know if I agree with the second part. Oh, Log. Hey, Log. I know why she won't let you go to the DR. You ain't been yet? How you got a Dominican wife and she ain't let you go to the DR yet? That's crazy. I mean, that's funny, man. That's funny. Oh, wow. Check this out. Mo Man. Thank you, man. Thank you, Mo Man. The brother who played bass for the Commodores recently passed. He was living in New Zealand in his last years. New Zealand is where Franklin Ajayi lives now. I wonder what's happening down in New Zealand. Because I heard there was some white nationalist activity out there. But obviously some brothers are, having some success. I get more respect while stationed in Saudi Arabia and Qatar. I was blessed to be welcomed into the homes of locals while they were without any issues. There it is. Beautiful country, beautiful place. I had limited time there, but the time I had in Costa Rica, beautiful country, one of the prettiest natural ecological countries in the world. And the people, pura vida, I think is the term there. Wow. Hey, John, listen, you will feel at home. There are a lot of Canadians down here. There are more Canadians than anything outside of local Mexicans. There are more Canadians. There are more Canadians than Argentinians. And there are a lot of Argentinians here. But there are more Canadians. So you'll feel quite welcome. And the fact that you have that much money saved up, you find the right location, you've bought yourself years. So you're in a very good position. So I would encourage you to really look into that if that's what you want to do. I can help you if you'd like, but even if I don't help you, look into that, bro, because you could definitely do that. Yeah, I know Marcus was from Jamaica. I stated that. No, I don't think that was the case. I think, again, I got to go back and look at it. I don't know why his ship was sabotaged because I don't think it was holes. I think somebody blew the engine up from what I read. But I'm not sure why that was the case, but I do remember that one of his ships was sabotaged. I'm half black and white, so what do I do? What do you want to do? You and Gerard, same. You still black. Even if you weren't, if you're white and you've got money and you don't like what's happening in the United States, you can relocate as well. There are far more white people that have left the United States than black people. Straight up. Go look up the numbers. Far more white people have left the United States than black people. Okay? So if you don't like Canada, if you don't like Great Britain, you don't like the United States, relocate to a place where you feel better. And for you and Gerald, I don't want to butcher his name. For both of you, it's not that you're half black and half white. I think the most important thing is, what do you identify as? That's to me, that's the most important. How do you identify yourself is the most important thing to me. Because how you identify yourself, that will answer a lot of the questions that you have. Okay? World Traveler says, racism is a crime in Brazil. I've always felt more welcome in Brazil as a Black American. I think what I've heard that racism is a crime. There was a Argentinian lady, because it's usually one of them that's causing havoc. It's Argentina, Great Britain, them imposters in Western Asia. They go around the world causing havoc. There were Argentinians fighting Liberian fans in New York City last night on the street. Just on the street. These people are whatever. So what happened was there was, I think it was 3 Argentinian women, and they went to this restaurant. They called somebody the N-word and they start making monkey noises. She got arrested. They arrested her because Brazil doesn't want a black eye like that. That's how powerful social media is. That somebody showed her and her friend was pulling her and she's talking stuff and yelling ooh, 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 and saying the N-word. The cops went and got her and arrested her. So technically racism is illegal in Brazil, but racism is alive and well in Brazil. Trust me on that. Bro, you need your own channel to talk to your own people because that ain't flying here. That ain't flying here. Okay. See, you must be able to pass. You must be able to do this and pass. Because the way that you're talking, you haven't had the experience of a Black American, not one that's conscious anyway. Oh, original emblem of the Americas. Let me go back. Let me check. Original emblem of the Americas. Ooh, bingo. Bingo. Hold on, guys. Here we go. Oh, this is going to be good. It's going to be good. That's why I love my free agents, boy. Y'all be coming strong. Here we go. All right, let's take a look. An emblem of America. Copper colored. Copper colored. Now, if that ain't a brother, them lips and that nose, and that says Australioid. This 1798 painting showing a Black Native American. Black Native American. I'll continue. An emblem, a 1798 painting showing a Black Native American. Right here. Right here. Let's keep going. Shoot, that ain't copper. That's blue-black. Right? Come on now. Come on. We see some fairer ones, but the majority that I've seen are dark. Emblem of America. So, guys, this is why the slave ship narrative from the continent never made sense to me. It never made sense to me. Right? Thank you, fellas. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Garvey bought an ocean liner, was in the process of creating a liaison with Liberia and the rubber business for Black people. The FBI was created to infiltrate it. Okay, well, I need to do some more research on that. Well, we're getting biblical now. We are a holy people above all peoples on the face of the earth. Booyah. Yeah, now you know what? I need to get an Ethiopian Bible. I agree, because there's a bunch that's been left out. And Ethiopia is the only country that wasn't colonized in Africa. Y'all know that, right? They beat back the Italians. Italy came and tried to colonize Ethiopia. They wasn't having it. Ethiopia, their calendar is even different. The year in Ethiopia is different from the year everybody else, because most people use a Gregorian calendar. They use a different calendar. And so I don't know what year it is there, but Ethiopia is a different world, and they don't play. So you're right. We all need a copy of an Ethiopian Bible. Let's see. Here's the thing, though. No. I don't know about that. I don't know if that's accurate, because Mexico was harboring runaway slaves from the United States. Yeah, I don't know if Mexico. Well, I'm not gonna disagree with you, Mark, because I don't know, but I do know that in 1816, Mexico had a black president, Vicente Guerrero. He was a black man, and that the U.S. and Mexico were really at odds because the U.S. did not like Mexico harboring black people. Once they got to the land of Mexico, they wouldn't allow the slave catchers to come in and get them. So that might be a technical thing, and you could be right, but the behavior of Mexico well before 1937 was that of welcoming to people of African descent. Exactly. Because they don't like Africans either. And there's Africans there, and they get treated like crap. Morocco, Algeria, Libya, Egypt. Now, Egypt has so much history. I get it. And I do know that there are some African Americans that live over there and like it. But I've heard bad things about it. Kevin, you're a fool. Kevin Crawford is funny as hell. Oh man. Oh, okay. Log warrior, I get it. You met her over there, so she don't want you going back. I get it. Okay. Hey, it is all love, Gerard. Thank you, man. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that. We can have dissenting voices. I get a little fired up sometimes, a little defensive for black people, but we're good, bro. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in and giving us your perspective, because we need to hear that. So thank you. Pura vida. Yep. It's a beautiful country. But it's racism in Brazil because, again, they're used to black people being subservient. And when you're subservient, they treat you like dirt. Certain cities in Brazil are better than others. Bro, there was a brother that took me to the airport, and I was speaking Spanish. He was speaking Portuguese, and we kind of understood each other. And the one thing he did tell me I said, man, I was explaining to him that I wanted to come back and go around to different places in Brazil. He was like, okay, but don't go here, don't go here, don't go here. Like, he gave me 3 or 4 places. Don't even think about going, because they're not going to treat you very well. Oh, Mama Man, we know the deal. We know what's up on that. Oh, Jasher, thanks for pointing it out. See, I can talk all day long, but if people see something like that's online, they tend to believe it more. So thank you for bringing it up, to bringing it to our attention. No, because Barry, here's what I'll say to you. I'm an entrepreneur. And so if I'm an entrepreneur and I'm going to traffic humans from one part of the world to another and force them into free labor, okay? And my goal is to get those Africans to a place to extract their free labor so that I can get something in return, right? So the value of those Africans is what? Their free labor. That's how America became America, off of free labor. Now, on these slave ships, it was estimated that 30%, not 13, 30, almost a third of the Africans were either raped and killed, thrown off of the side, or some committed suicide. Okay? So if every time I make a shipment and I lose 30% of my cargo, how profitable is that? After a while, that becomes a little bit more cost prohibitive, doesn't it? I lose 30% of my cargo. I paid for 100% because I had to pay and work with maybe other African people to round up these people, whatever, however that dynamic went down. But I got to pay for these people. I got to do something to get these people. But I lose a third of them in transit. And that went on for 400 years. From a business standpoint, that just didn't make sense to me. Wouldn't it be easier to enslave the people who are already there? Like, and one thing I have read lately is that there were a lot of Africans taken out of South America that were brought up to the Caribbean, up to the United States, up to Canada. That's some information I came across recently. That makes way more sense to me. That you get something much closer that would take far less time to transport people in a region as opposed to across the world. Does that make sense? So just from that standpoint, and where's my book? 103 facts about Black American Indians. Go look that book up. Go look that up. Start looking up the Black people being indigenous to the Americas. Go look up that information. You'll start to see what I'm talking about. It never made sense to me. And then when I went to Africa and I saw how they treated me, I was like, man, these aren't our people. They don't relate to me. They call me a brony. A brony in Ghana is a white foreigner. Oh, brony. That's what they called me. So I was like, my people we're not from here. Because they wouldn't do you like that. Remember I was telling you the sister that went to Uganda and was trying to, she bought some land, was trying to develop it with local people, and they kept stealing from her. In their mind, they're like, oh, we can steal because you're a foreigner. You're not one of us. We're not hurting us. We're hurting you because you're a foreigner. You got more money. You can handle it. We're going to steal from you. Would you steal from one of your own? So that's where I get that from, Barry Mary. I'd encourage you to check that out. I don't know if I would call it a white man's religion, but one of the things I got a great friend in DC, and we go back and forth. He's a very spiritual man. And I'm like, whatever you say, bro, to me, how can I have the same religious belief system as the people that took my land and conquered me? How is that possible? How do I even allow myself to even go there? Because if I believe I'm a prisoner of war, which I did when I was living in the United States anyway, why would that's Stockholm syndrome. I'm not on that. So I don't know if I would go as far as calling it the white man's religion, but they did utilize it to enslave us. So that's not something I would get down with. Hey, Boogie, you're exactly right. And guys, you know what? Ethiopia is the 12th most populated country in the world. You didn't know that, did you? Ethiopia is big. It's like 98 million people, almost 100 million people. And we know very little about it. But they just built a dam. This is where European insurgents come in. Ethiopia just built a major dam that will provide hydroelectricity, not only for Ethiopia, but for that region. And the European powers that had their hooks into that region, like through the corporations getting up out of there. The energy people are getting up out of there because they got that done. So when Eritrea and Ethiopia were doing this for years, Eritrea is a poor, from my understanding, it's kind of a poor country, but they were fighting Ethiopia like this because they want to keep Ethiopia from developing into the country that eventually they're going to become. We need to know more. Black people in the United States need to learn Haiti, and Ethiopia. Those are two countries that we need to really learn from. And we probably need to have Haiti flags and Ethiopian flags up in our homes, straight out. Those need to be two countries that we really study and embrace their thought process, because those two countries have really resisted anything colonial. They've kept themselves who they are. Now, Haiti goes through hell. We know that. Ethiopia, I think, they don't have quite as many. They don't have as many enemies because they weren't the ones that kicked the French, the Spanish, and the Britons' asses consecutively with garden hoses and rocks and black magic. Right? Those are two countries that everybody should have an IT football jersey right now during the World Cup. Everybody. All the black countries. Capo Verde, Senegal, Curacao, Haiti. What are the other ones? Cote d'Ivoire, I believe, is in there as well. Yeah, we need to be on that kind of energy. Oh yeah, Montrez. You know what? I didn't know that it would match the background. It's so hot here in Playa del Carmen that if you got anything other than a t-shirt or a like a tank top, you're just gonna sweat through whatever you got on. So I did like Carolina when I was growing up. I loved Carolina basketball, but I feel you though. Yes, agreed. We are of African descent, but we're different. Really? Man, Emmanuel, I'm sorry, man. Because of my disability, I was criticized and met with such disdain by the most God-fearing hypocrites on the planet. I'm sorry to hear that. See, Emmanuel, here's the thing. Far more people are disabled up here, but that's invisible, right? There's far more people that are disabled, but that don't physically reveal it, but they're disabled up here. So I'm really sorry that you went through that experience, because that's hot garbage. Kevin, look, I want to go. I want to go to Burkina Faso. I do. I want to spend money there. I want to volunteer there. I don't know what the situation is, because there was a group of African Americans that were going, and then I believe at the last minute somebody in the Burkina Faso government is like, nah, because it's a security threat. They got to be careful. They're building something very special right now, and they don't need an interruption from anybody. I totally get it, but I want to go because I want to see it. I want to spend my money there, and I just want to support them because I love it. I love it. Them brothers hate on their own sisters, so I don't think so for them. Well, I'm speaking from a historical standpoint. Now we're going to talk about individual examples. Shoot, brothers in the States hate on black women. Same thing, right? In NYC, two Dominican politicians were debating about is not real and the rights of the people. I was wondering why they don't have the same respect for their Haitian neighbors. Because one, anybody that goes into politics is on some politics. Politics were never designed to help black people. Never. Okay. Well, man, dude, we had a very lively discussion today. We're 2 hours and 15 minutes in. This is the longest I've ever done, but it's fun. And it's great. And you guys are holding up the conversations, right? I wouldn't be on here talking by myself. So thank you so much, gentlemen and women, and wherever you are, white, black, Latino, Asian, different. You're welcome. Come in the right spirit, though. Like my man, the Gerard, I love this, the half black, half white thing. We need to be talking about these things, right? And I need to hear different opinions. I get sensitive. I get defensive. I'll admit that. But then I calm down and I'm like, oh, you know what? That's cool. We need to have that discussion. We need to be able to talk about these things, right? Reynolds, thank you. I had a great trip to Brazil. Thank you. And I'm going back. I'm getting my temporary residency there. That's how much I liked it. I loved it. So thank you, guys. Look out for the video coming out of Salvador later on this week. And if you have any more questions and you're watching the replay, put the questions in the comments. I always come back and check them and answer them to the best of my ability. So for all you gentlemen, thank you so much. You guys, I love y'all, man. Every time we go live, it gets better and better. And that's because of all of you. So you guys take care. And until next time.